Hi, I am Kizzy Robinson, Empowerment Ambassador of Women of Houston's Media and Magazine, and I have the honor of sitting today with Dr. Veronica Johnson Williams.
Hello. It is my honor to be here with Miss Kizzy Robinson.
Oh my God, we are honoring you for our education category, and you have excelled in this. I am so, even just with sitting here with you, I got chills all over my body to be able to sit down. HBCU, Grambling, HCC, the community, everything. You're doing it all. So I need you to, how did education choose you, or did you choose it? How did you get here?
Well, growing up, all of my family members are actually educators. So, of course, me having to grow up that way with my parents always bringing students home and assisting students and giving them clothes, food, and all of that, I said, it is no way that I am going in education. So I actually chose accounting, and I started in the oil and gas industry.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? After growing up that way, education actually chose me. Because after spending many years in oil and gas, I actually went looking to go back to a classroom, to give back to the students,
Right.
and to bring them to where I was sitting in industry.
Yes.
So,
and I'm so
yes,
glad
so it chose
did,
me.
because look how powerful you have become in that department in education. HBCU, alumni president. Oh my God. Talk a little bit about that and how that happened. And what are you doing over there?
Actually, that's not where I started out either.
God. It just keeps getting better and better.
Yes, ma'am. My mother actually directed me. My father went to Southern, my mother, of course, Grambling. So that's a Bayou Classic family, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was ready to go off to Southern University. And my mom said, well, why don't you just go down to Grambling? Just, this summer, check it out and just see how you like it. If you don't like it, you can go on to Southern University in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? Once again,
on the journey.
Yes. Going to Grambling State University and seeing all of the educated people that I had an opportunity to see, I was just in awe.
That looked like you.
Yes.
That looked like you.
Yes. In high school, I actually only had two professors, I call everybody professors now, two teachers that looked like me.
Mm-hmm.
And one, because I wanted to learn physics before I went off to high school. He was the assistant principal. So I asked him to teach me physics.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I got that second one.
Wow.
So you can imagine when I went to Grambling, I was like, whoa.
Felt like you was at the candy store.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my
and so
God.
the rest was history. It's just history. I mean, I just got in there. I learned so much.
Mm-hmm.
I just rode their coattails, and I still do.
Right.
I still communicate with all the professors. I had my son's principals to say, I didn't even know the president of the university. How do you know the president of the university? And I was like, well, there are people just like I am. I don't shy away from anyone.
Right.
I always want to get to know who's in the particular offices and making the decisions that affect me, right?
Exactly.
I say, so it doesn't bother me to just go and have a conversation with anyone. And that includes the presidents of the universities.
And look at you. Then you became all that. Just walking in those doors like that. Look at you. I can't give you your roses. We're honoring you for what you've done, because what you've done is so powerful. And what you've done has created an avenue for other women to come behind you. Me and you was talking earlier, and you made this comment about, it was only three founders, and now it's only two of them left. And you didn't want to take all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Tell the world a little bit about that. You don't want to not taking it to the grave.
Exactly.
Like each one reaching one and teaching one, because if I affect you, like you've already infected me, I want to go out here and do some powerful stuff too.
Trust me, we're feeding off of each other.
Yes.
I'm sitting here now just making sure I take notes on how to properly speak and all of these things. So let me just tell you about that organization. Mm-hmm. Once again, it goes back to my family, my HBCU connections and the growth that I receive by going to. And let me just say, I usually just don't call it HBCU, our historically Black colleges and universities. I knew that one day we were not going to be able to write large checks. You remember I told you I was in industry. I was in oil and gas, the majors. Mm-hmm. We were not going to be able to do that, but we still want to make sure students receive the type of education that we receive, still be able to get those fundings when they've exhausted everything else. They'll have a pot to go to and get those monies. Sometimes the students may just need $50. Right. And they don't even have that. So what we got together and formed, it was just 3 of us that ended up meeting. It was open to many, but just 3 of us met at that Kroger in Pearland. Wow. And we talked about starting a foundation, and then we added on about starting an endowed scholarship. Right. Where the interest will be set aside eternally, perpetually. Wow. So that students will be able to use those funds for scholarships to pay for their education. So right now we have over $250,000 endowed scholarship. Look at you. Sitting on the campus of Grambling State University. Wow. And the foundation that started that, and I wrote the documentation for that as well. As a matter of fact, I was on the phone with Iris this morning talking to them about some paperwork that we want to get a copy of. But one of us have gone home. Yeah. So just yesterday, we gathered and said, we need to start training our younger alums to take this on. So I'm going to serve as the president. But guess what? Yes. I'm going to have those students that shadow me. And I've already told all the officers, because I come out of corporate and I come out of the classroom. I need you to write. If you're in industry, we call it desk documentation. Mm-hmm. If you're in education, I need you to write a plan. Mm-hmm. I need you to write a plan just in case tomorrow's not promised to anyone. Right. But anybody should be able to step into your position or your shoes and carry on. Right. Because I'm a deep believer of that. Right. If I'm not here, I want you to be able to do what I'm doing. And it's so important, like you say, to go to the grave empty. Mm-hmm. Leave it out here, because if not, those things die with you, and you want that legacy to be continue to be set. You know, because as an educator, you didn't get in this just to be cute. And you know, I know all those work. Yes, and you become not no pay, but you do it for the love of seeing empowerment, others, and seeing others grow. Definitely, and that's why you're an honoree. Because that's what you do. That's what you do. Like, you was one of the most powerful women of Houston. So we had to run you down, come all up here at HCC and run you down and shut down the library just to sit with you for a while and give you some roses, and also put you in front of some cameras and let the world get to see what a strong queen looks like. Not just a strong Black woman, but a queen who's actually breaking. You better blush. You being honored, honey. That's what we come here to do. And what's so special about, you know, doing this project and honoring you for that is because now the world gets to see something that you wouldn't usually dust off. You wouldn't tell anybody all that stuff that you're doing, because you don't want anybody to know. But I see it, and the world needs to see it, and the women of Houston see it.
You know, we need to know that
thank you.
it's people behind the desk and behind the doors that you can actually come to and be relatable to. From the first moment I walked in with you, you became auntie or like a mother. You know, we sat down and we talked and we bond like we've been talking for years and years and years. And that's what it should be. You know, when a woman, you see a young woman coming in, because you got me by a couple of years, not many, just a couple, you know.
That's exactly right.
Just a couple.
That's exactly right.
But to be able to receive you the way that I did, I take so much from you today. You know, we was talking about like even with your son. Oh yeah. How, you know, he was
when you put that camera
when
in
you
his
put that camera in his hand and then he was like, I don't want to do it, Mama, but now look what he's doing.
Exactly.
I
don't even know how to turn on the cameras that he's using now.
He's in production now.
Exactly.
You know,
and when I got ready to come here, he even told me, I said, should I wear a dress? Because I usually wear a dress and hosiery. Should I wear a dress or should I wear a pantsuit? And he was like, Mom, wear a pantsuit this time. And he was out the door.
Yeah. Like, I got you. But you've already planted the seeds. And you also gave me, you know, encouragement, because I was like, oh, you know, my daughter, I'm a single mom, so my daughter has to come on sets and stuff with me too. And you was like, she need that.
That's exactly
what she needs. And I'm like, can you go over there and
bring her with you. That's how I learned how to give back to my community. You heard me talk about my mom and dad would bring the students home. That's how I learned to love community. It's by going with them. And a lot of times I did not want to, but guess what? They were instilling those values in me to give back, to educate. There's many ways to give back and there's many ways to educate. And I cannot, let me just say this, I cannot do what I do without a team. I have a full, complete team that works with me so that we can achieve the goals that we have for our community, for our historically Black colleges and universities, and even for my family. You heard me say, my son say, Mom, wear the pantsuit, he out the door. It starts with them. I had to get buy-in from them to be able to do what I do. So they usually come and do, you'll see them doing the setup and the takedown and all of that. And when I get ready to walk out the door, they're like, Mom, just get in the car. We're done. Just come on. So you need to bring her. She needs to be a part of it. And trust me, she'll be doing the same thing that you're doing.
But better.
Yes, she'll be.
Because she gets to be with me with women like you. So everything that I can't give her, like I said, you know, of course, you know, I lost my mom. So I look for aunties and grandmothers and new mommies and to also give to her, because I don't want her to be just like me, because sometimes I realize she's so much like me, I don't like myself. Oh my God. Did my mommy really have to put up with this? But the woman that I am, you know, with me losing my mom at 15, this is how I became. She had those short 15 years to run and do this. And that's another thing, what you're saying, like it being only 3 of you as founders and one of them already gone. And you like, you know what, we need to write this thing out, because one thing we do know about life is that it happens. And that's why we're here today, to give you your roses before that happens, because you are so, you know, you need to be recognized. Not only do you write the script out for the next one to follow, but you also should have your roses while you can smell them. And that's what Women of Houston has came to do for you, to honor you, to just say that we love what you're doing in the community. We love that the women who are following you has such an amazing woman, not just someone who knows stuff and knows a skill, but also knows life and know how to be, you know, personable. Because sometimes, you know, you get mixed up with women who they get so caught up in the education, or they get so caught up in their titles that they forget that. Do you remember what you had to get through to go there? Do you remember the walls that you had to break down to get there? So don't lose that, because we need that. Because, you know, a lot of us are lost. You know, we just came out of a pandemic where so many people got isolated and didn't even have anybody to go to. And a lot of people went crazy about that. I'm almost one of them. Because I need people, you know.
And you got out and met others, and you were able to ground yourself again and keep it going, right?
Houston has welcomed me well.
So what did I tell you about your mother? I told you. I said, trust me, your mother started preparing you for the woman that you are today, even when you were in her womb.
Yeah.
She started talking to you. She started going places so that even though she had those 15 years with you, you were able to carry on because you knew that she did not expect anything less of you.
Yeah. Now you're trying to get my eyelashes to fall off.
15 years. Some people don't even do 15 years in a particular training.
Yeah.
She trained you. You heard her voice. And you remember we talked about you were putting on that dress and you were putting the dress on incorrectly?
Yes. She told me that when I was a little girl, and I have to share that because when I was small, I was trying to step in it. And my mama said, no, ma'am. A lady don't step in no dress. That comes over your head. And so even now, with her being gone almost 28 years ago, I'll call myself trying to do something quick because when you're on set, you have to jump quick. And I'd be like, Mama, I'm sorry. I know I'm not supposed to pull in this dress. So I'm still having those lessons that I had with her, and oh my God. And when I see you, and it melts my heart, to be able to sit down with someone who actually I can look up to. I look for my mommies and my aunties and people. So to come here and be able to honor you, I was all excited. I was like, I'm putting on some new earrings and stuff. I'm going to sit and then end up with you and looking like we came together.
That's exactly right. So you see, and I do the same thing. You see, we just carry it on.
Yes, we do.
Each one of us, we are who we are because we're standing on the shoulders of others that we look up to.
Oh my God.
So I'm no different.
Oh my
I have those individuals. Even with my mom, she hadn't been to Houston in years. I don't remember the last time she came. But our last child and her last grandchild was graduating from high school.
At the same time.
She showed up. Nails done, colored nails. You see, I don't wear colored nails. I'm a natural one. And
I like that. I love that.
And she had her nails done and just everything. I was like, is this the same lady?
Yeah.
She was here. And I know she went home because my dad passed on and he wasn't able to see. But she told me everything that he had told her. You make sure those boys are educated. You make sure, because I know Veronica.
Right.
She's going to try to do everything. I'm the mother of all sons. She's going to try to do everything for them. No. You make sure those boys know how to do everything she can do.
Right. Right. Oh my God.
And she was right there. I was like, I cannot believe this. Wait a minute now.
Wow.
But she did. She came all the way from North Louisiana.
And it's just another example of what you are, who you are, and what you came from.
And that's
Still
what you do.
Strong. Yeah.
That's what you do.
Wow.
You take notes, you listen to the seasoned, experienced, educated women, and we learn from them.
Yeah. Well, that was going to be my next question. Of what would you tell the up and coming administrator or young woman who look like you or not even look like you, woman, man, whoever, what advice would you give them? But that's it.
Yes. You're here for a purpose and you're here to help someone else. God gave each one of us special talents. You don't use them, you lose them. But what he wants you to do is to be of service, be a servant leader to others, to make sure that if I see something, and I love this about the movie Ray. You remember what they used to tell him? You slip hanging. But what they were trying to say was he wasn't himself. He was, he had did a little something he shouldn't have been doing. So I kind of use that too. You slip hanging. If I see another female or male where you're not you're not, when you come out your house every day, you should look like this.
Yeah. Every day.
I should not see on you what you've been through. Right? Why?
That's powerful.
Because someone else is watching you.
Yes.
If you're looking a mess, then how can you instill in another young lady or another young man to be strong, educated,
Right.
and be a beacon of light for someone else? You can't do that.
Right.
So you have to go and take care of you so that your light shine and they just follow it.
Right.
That's all they got to do. Because you've already laid the footprints. All they're going to do is follow it. And you'll never have to say a word.
That is so powerful and so true.
Yeah.
And, you know, I like to wear big glasses all the time. And they be like, kids, why you always got them sunglasses on? Because I go from crying in a corner to, okay.
Right.
Now, you know, because
Right.
I don't have a chance. And then me also, again, being a single mom and having to be the strength. I have to be the mommy. I have to be the dad. I have to be the strength of my household.
Right.
I can only, mommy, why you take such long showers? Because I get to cry and don't nobody see it.
That's
you
right.
know,
And
but when
you
it's
come
time
out,
to, because
right.
when you are a leader,
thank you.
you know, if they see you break, they're
Thank
going to
you.
break. When
They're
people
gonna break.
love you, when they see
That's
you
right.
sad, they're going to be sad.
They're
So we
gonna be
set
sad.
atmospheres.
That's right.
And if we're
you
not.
set the tone. Just what you said about being a leader. You set the tone. If I don't have any energy and I'm trying to preside over a meeting, there's no energy.
Right.
You set the tone wherever you are.
Right.
And that's even when you step outside your door. Yeah. Even when I get on and I have to tell this funny story when I get on to my Zoom meetings, because I'm also on the board of directors with my Grand Little Alumni Association. And they will say, did you just come from the beauty shop? No. And if I'm a little bit late, the vice president will tease him. He'll say, oh, she's not coming on without having herself together.
I know that's right.
So.
Right.
And he's absolutely right, because you said, I mean, everybody is watching you. If you're a weak leader,
right,
then everything around you is weak.
Right. The wolf
your family is weak.
Up.
The classroom is weak. I have to set the example for who I want them to be and who I expect them to be.
Wow. And that's, again, why you're an honoree. And such a powerful woman in Houston.
Thank you.
And I know I got to let you go because we don't let you shut down the whole community college and the library, you know, because you important like that. You can do that. But, you know.
You all were coming.
Yeah.
The women of Houston.
The women of Houston. We was coming to find you, honey.
You all were coming.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
I couldn't just let you all just come and nothing is in place.
Yeah.
This is the educate category.
Yes.
So what better place than a place of education?
Yes.
To sit and converse with you.
A little chit chat with kids.
That's exactly right.
And I love
Talking about how we're supposed to be here to make sure, like you said, to reach back.
Yes.
And bring one along.
Yes.
Have someone, like you have your daughter shadowing you. You always want someone shadowing you. Because I was also told, if I'm a leader and I look back and no one's following me, there's a problem, right?
What you leading?
Thank you. What are you leading?
What are you leading?
That's exactly right.
Wow.
So that's the reason you bring those followers with you.
I sure will. And I'm going to bring my daughter with you and let us come and sit up under you so you can give us some out there. Just touch what they say. Can you just touch the hem of the garment? Wow.
Well, I like the fact that we're doing it for each other.
Yes.
That's the part I like. And you remember I talked about a team? I don't do anything alone, and I really don't. Everything is done with being able to have something within yourself that would attract others to come and buy into your mission and do it together. It's so much easier, isn't it?
Yes.
Isn't it so much? It's a whole lot easier.
I always say, if you can do your vision by yourself, it ain't big enough.
Thank you.
It's not.
It's not.
If it's all about you, it's never going to be big enough. You know, and another thing is, like you say, like I was telling my daughter, a woman is supposed to be seen. You don't have to be so loud.
That's right.
Your light's supposed to shine. And your light shining so bright, it got Houston on fire. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So I'm
learning so much from you today. Thank you so very much. This has truly been a pleasure. Look, it's my pleasure.
Yes,
this
and mine too.
We're gonna stay connected.
Definitely.
And all of that.
Definitely, because I need some more stuff. I'm trying to see how I can keep my hair gray. And I was in the plucking my grays out the front, but
don't do that.
You look so beautiful.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
it runs in my family.
My dad,
it. We gray from the back forward. My mother from the front back, and so you see.
Yeah.
And I just let it do what it's going to do.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask one more question because you just do this so gracefully. How have you been able to go through all these years of all this educating and not had to pull all your hair out dealing with these children? Because I know, just like me, gravitating to you as auntie, mommy, a friend, I see all of that in you right now. So I know so many people are coming to you. So in pouring out your cup, how do you fill your cup back up?
I do what you said.
What I say?
I do have to steal away. You remember you said your daughter asked about, Mom, why do you take showers so long?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you have to steal away. You have to find that me time.
Yes.
Yeah, you really do. And then if you ask my husband, he'll say, Veronica, look, we don't have to do that right now.
Because we want it done and we want it now.
Exactly, we want it right now.
Yeah.
So I have him to keep me grounded.
Oh.
Yeah, to say, Veronica, no.
Yeah.
No. It's time for you right now, or it's time for us right now.
Right.
But guess what? I drag him along as well. We know how to do that.
I miss doing that. But I know how to do that.
He's a teach you along, but he used to have to drive me up and down the road for all of my activities and stuff. So guess what? He had to just become a Grambling life member as well, because he was always there and they thought it anyway. So
you cannot connect to power and not be the plug. I like that. Come on,
exactly
we're gonna wrap you around and
do
pull
this
you
together.
Well, I have, so I know I gotta let you go because they're gonna beat down the doors for the library in a minute. But it has been a pleasure and an honor to sit here with you today and honor you and give you your roses. I can't wait to see you and your wife.